Hey boys and girls. So for this unit today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking inspiration from the work of Romero Britto. And I attached the video to this activity that you can watch, and we can look at some of his artwork, which we already have, and now we're going to try to make a piece of art inspired by his work. So the things that you have to remember with Romero Britto is there's not a lot of detail in his drawing. So it's a very simple drawing. So it could be something as simple as, like, say you want to do, let's say, a landscape. Okay? I would just do a couple little simple lines like this. And then maybe I will make, now when you look at some of the landscapes that he might have, I'll add some of this to the activity. He has a sun. Sometimes he'll put it up in the corner here, sometimes he'll put it directly in the middle here, or sometimes he'll have it here. I'm going to put it right here. So sort of setting behind the hills. And then maybe I will do a flower here, simple flower. Very simple lines, there's not a lot of detail. So it's, we don't need to get all the details of, like, if you're going to make a rose or something like that. Just something simple, and then the stem like this, and then he has leaves that come off like this. And then the sun, what he does is he does these rays, and what that does is it breaks up the page like this. Okay, so very simple. Now, that is the very basic of what a Romero Britto piece of art would look like. Now, the one thing that makes his work unique, though, is the bright colors that he uses, but also the patterns. So in here, in each of these little sections here, he would do a pattern. So maybe in here I will do triangles like this. And they're just, again, very simple patterns. There's not a lot of zigzags and stuff like that, and crossing lines and all that. It's just very simple like this. And now maybe on here I will do, maybe we'll do not circles. Here we'll do some little tiny polka dots. And then maybe in this pattern right here, I will do zigzags. And then maybe here, I'll do some wavy lines that go like this. And maybe some little dashes with circles. Looks like I'm writing 101. And then maybe here I'll do triangles with little. And then here I'll do maybe some spirals. And so on and so forth. So you can even do some block patterns like this. And then maybe the sun I'll just leave simple. Just leave it as it is. And in here, let's do like some mini zigzags like this. Like letter M's floating everywhere. And then here we'll do, what do you think? Let's do just some polka dots with like little mini suns everywhere. Okay, now, the other thing that makes his work unique is he uses really bold, thick, black lines. Now, I'm going to use a Sharpie. This is up to you. If you have a Sharpie, then by all means do that. Now, the only thing I'm going to tell you is when you're using a Sharpie on this type of paper, you want to make sure that you have something underneath it. If you don't, what's going to happen is, I mean, I'm doing it in the art room so I can clean the table really easily, but if you're using like your parents' dinner table or your coffee table or something like that at home, you don't want to get Sharpie through onto their desks. So you want to take your time and do it right and be clean, because I don't think your parents are going to be very happy if you stain their table. All right, so what I'm going to do is I will start by just doing a nice thick black line here. I have to turn my paper a little bit so I can see it. Okay. And then I'll do this wavy line. Now the important thing here when you're doing these lines is that you use clean lines. Clean lines, if you remember, a clean line is this, like this. A not so clean line, which some of you are guilty of doing, is this. We don't want to have lines like this. We want to have lines like this. They're nice and neat and clean. So you see how it bled through the paper? Not a big deal. This is just practice anyway. And so I'm going to continue to go over all my patterns like this. Here's leaf. So you're going to continue to do this with the Sharpie. Then what you're going to do is you're going to color it. Now with your colors, I want you to use bright, bold colors. And you have to have super neat coloring, because that's the one thing that he does in there. If you look, there are no white spaces around his edges. There are no, like, it's not like one section with two different colors. Each section in here is its own unique color. Like maybe for this part of the thing it's blue, then maybe you color your circles yellow. Same thing on this side. But like the patterns are all the same as far as the colors go for each section, but you don't like color like the sun right here, half orange and half red or something like that. It's all one color. Same thing with the flower here. If you want to make the center yellow and you want to leave these white, you can, like that type of thing. All right, so I want you to be very good with your coloring. I want you to take your time and put some care into this piece. I think it'll look really nice if you do that. And I'm curious to see what you can do. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.